if that makes sense. But I think I should have even got the new car to begin with, was the mistake. So
Yeah, you said you were looking for a $10,000 car, but you couldn't find one you wanted. Why does it? One you wanted doesn't matter. I mean, what you barely even need working air conditioning up there in Seattle. It's always cold, and you just get some like one you wanted. Welcome to Monthly Money, where we sit down with someone, look at what they've been spending over the past month, what their income has looked like, and what that all comes together to meet their future goals. Today we are going to be meeting with John. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Caleb.
Yeah, how old are you and where are you based out of?
I'm 26. I just had my birthday last week, actually, and I'm based in Seattle.
Happy late birthday. What do you do for a living?
I'm currently a software engineer for like a mid-sized tech company.
Okay, and then Seattle, that's definitely a good city for tech. What do you bring in on a yearly basis?
Well, the salary is 150 currently.
150 a year. Nice. That's pretty sweet. We have one of your pay stubs. Let's take a look at that real quick. Those taxes are just so mean when you look at it.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, year to date you've brought in 45,392, but taken away for taxes from federal, Medicare, and Social Security, 11,247. So, then also some deductions, 401k pre-tax. So is that a Roth-based 401k?
No, that's just a normal 401k.
And some accidental stuff and critical illness, and then employer paid costs as well. But your costs have been $2,883.73 for deductions taken out. Now Washington has no state income tax, which is good on your end. Let's see what this came down to. So net after everything looks like $4,295 was put into your checking account. Does that sound correct to you?
Yep.
Okay. Is that bi-weekly, semi-monthly?
It's 1st and 15th, so twice a month, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So after deductions, after all taxes, from your $150,000 a year, entering your checking account is $103,096.
Yeah, it kind of hurts.
And 80 cents. Yeah. Are you single? Are you married?
I'm single currently, yeah. I do live with my brother as like a roommate, but like I'm single.
What's your rent every month?
I like my mortgage, so it's like 2,800.
So this is kind of a house hacking. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, my principal and interest is like 2,100, but when you add on like property taxes, all the other stuff, like my mortgage payment comes out to like 2,850. And then my brother moved in like a month ago and he's paying me 900 a month towards like just the costs and stuff. So
is 900 like market rent for that area, or are you giving him a good discount?
Well, I would say it's reasonably close to market rent. I think you should probably charge like 1,100, but I think part of the issue is like my home is kind of like not in the best condition. So I don't think I could even rent out my room on the market, so to speak, but he puts up with it, so.
Okay, so a little bit of house hacking, but nothing.
Yeah, it's like a drop in the bucket.
All right, so let's look at your monthly money, in your Chase account where there's a few different things. So in your college checking, so you must open this when you're in college, you had a beginning balance of $864.41, ending balance of $1,300. So put in, let's see here, 16,495 was put in. You withdrew from the ATM 566, and electronic withdrawals of 13,192, and other withdrawals of 2,300. If you're bringing in $8,000 a month from the job, how is this double? What happened?
Well, I bought a car that month, so I like transferred a bunch of money from my savings account to buy a car.
All right.
So that I think that was a weird month. Yeah.
Transfer 2,000, transfer 4,104, transfer 2,150, remote online deposit 2,295, remote online deposit 1,032, Then you had Venmo going in of 110, Venmo going in of 60, Venmo 170, Venmo 38, and then Tango card deposit 4,200, Venmo cash out. Lots of Venmo cashing out.
I like coach tennis on the side. So normally the Venmos are just like from my tennis lessons. I'll normally do Venmo payment.
How much a month does the side hustle bring in on average?
Ooh, sorry, let me think. I normally do about five. I would say probably about $1,000 a month, somewhere in that range.
It's pretty sweet though.
Yeah, it's like $60 a lesson, about 5 lessons a week, 5 to 6. So it's nice.
Hard to complain about an extra $12,000 a year.
Yeah, it's nice. Although that was as I get more base pay raises, it kind of seems less tempting to want to go like drive all over town and stuff. So
yeah, that makes sense. So tell me about this car. You obviously put in a lot of money and then took out a lot of money for this car. Tell me about the purchase.
yeah, it was kind of a splurge. I got a 2022 Honda Civic, so like a new car.
Mm-hmm. So you got it. Did you buy it in cash? Did you finance it?
No, I wound up financing it. So I can give you my story, but I don't think it's going to stand up to scrutiny. But pretty much what happened was I like had saved up about 10,000 in cash to buy a car with. I like was looking, couldn't really find anything I wanted. So I sort of like eventually wound up like, oh, let me just get a new car. So then I just wound up financing it at like a pretty good interest rate. So I wound up taking my car down payment and just put it on my mortgage with a higher interest rate. So now I kind of have a big car loan. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I know that's pretty cringe, but
why did you do this if you know that financing a car is kind of stupid, or taking out leverage for a depreciating asset is kind of dumb?
Like I guess the interest rate math just worked out better to put the money towards my home than to try to just finance the new car. If that makes sense, but I think I shouldn't even got the new car to begin with. Was the mistake. So
yeah, you said you were looking for a $10,000 car, but you couldn't find one you wanted. Why does it? One you wanted doesn't matter. I mean, what you barely even need working air conditioning up there in Seattle. It's always cold, and you just get some like one you wanted.
Yeah.
What was the purchase price of this Honda Civic 2021?
Well, the cost of the car was $24,500.
How much did you put down?
I put down $4,000. So
you have $18,000.
Well, that's not well. The actual cost of the car was more than 24 because you have taxes, all that. So like I wound up paying the dealer around 30,000. So it was like a lot of extra on top.
So $26,000 car debt.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's at like 21,000, but yeah, it's pretty. It definitely makes me feel bad about myself to know that's there.
What's the monthly payment?
It's $600.
That's a stupid monthly payment for a Honda Accord. $600. What? Yeah. I have nothing against them, but paying $600 a month for a. What is the length of this loan?
48 months.
Okay. I don't like the length of that loan either. Why didn't you do?
Yeah, I mean the interest rate is 1.9%. I would say it's the only redeeming characteristic of the whole scenario.
Why didn't you at least do a 36-month one though, and then put more down? You should have put more, and then got this. Oh my gosh, it's not that crazy. It's just it's bad. It's bad finances. Bad finances is the bad use of $600 a month. Oh.
I mean, like I could, because I have money on the side, I could like pay it off, but I just keep the debt. Like, would you suggest just like liquidate my brokerage funds and just pay off the whole car balance?
Liquidating your brokerage funds? No, I don't think so. Now at that interest rate, I wouldn't have gotten into it, but now that you are, maybe try to make some extra payments on it, make it a 36 month, make the math break down to 36 months. Because it's going to take you said, well, what did you say, 48 months?
Yeah, I think that's the term, right? Yeah, like 4 years or
Yeah, dude. Okay. Okay. And then you said you put the rest towards your house?
yeah, just towards principal.
When did you buy this house?
In the very beginning of 2020, so January, like right before COVID,
Purchase price of the house?
was 470.
How much did you put down?
I think like 30,000. Actually, I think it was 27,000. So much less than I think the 20%. Just because I kind of wanted to just get into a house quickly, and that just seemed like the time was right.
Now you probably you probably played the market pretty well, unknowingly, right?
I was really nervous the first month because everything stopped, but then quickly after it's worked out well. But I agree, it was very like a hasty decision.
I've seen so many people recently getting into hasty home purchases, and then you got into a hasty car purchase. It sounds like that's what, because the car's not necessarily terrible. And what's your mortgage every month? Oh, you already told me. That is a pretty expensive mortgage. I guess it kind of comes down to almost 25% of your post-tax, right around that. And then the house hacking helps, but that's not guaranteed forever. So it's kind of expensive. And who knows what your pay was 2 years ago when you got this. And then it's just getting into these because, didn't find the car you want, so you just decided, let's go get a brand new car instead. Or we just rushed into a house payment. Like, yikes, dude. That's just not spelling out good things for the future. So you took out 1,000 to put towards Vanguard, took out another 1,000 towards Vanguard, lots of Venmo stuff, and just transferring back and forth, paying your Chase card. Good. Vanguard 2000. So I definitely like the investing spirit. This is good. Online transfer to savings. Okay. So obviously you don't do your spending there. Just lots of transfers and stuff back and forth. Let's talk about your savings account. This sucks. Beginning balance 386. Deposits 3,860. You then also took out 636, and then an ending balance of 3,579.
Yeah, that's not really my savings account. I just like put my mortgage amount in there on the 1st and 15th and then paid like my mortgage out of it. So it's kind of a weird.
Why?
Like just to like ensure like my mortgage is as soon as my paycheck hits, just mortgage money goes to that account and then it's just there. So when my mortgage is due, I just pay. Sorry, it's kind of weird, but that's just like otherwise sometimes I like won't allocate my 1st and 15th paychecks right. But the CIBC account is like more my emergency fund.
Okay, so I see on that account the most recent balance of 10,000. Now you're not doing emergency funds correctly because one month 11,000, another month 9,000, another month 7,000, and another month 10,000, and now we're ending 10,597. Why are you pulling and adding from an emergency fund?
Yeah, that was the market kind of dipped a bit, so I just wanted to like max out the rest of my Roth IRA, and so I just like I was just too mainly invested in the markets. So definitely bad.
I get the sentiment, and I get wanting to, and I want you to buy at the dip because you're buying at a discount. I love that, and I love that you're maxing it out, and that is good. But you do not touch emergency funds because that's not what they are for. They are for emergencies. And I know we're like, okay, well, luckily nothing bad happened when you did that, but we don't know that. Emergencies are emergencies. You cannot predict them. So, and then with the cost of your mortgage, I don't know if I like that the emergency fund is only at 10,000. I'd probably want to see like 20,000. So why is it so little?
I guess kind of my justification is like, if I lose my job, I could like get another job. So I don't know. I guess I wouldn't see myself not having a primary income for super long. But then again, there's probably a lot of circumstances that could cause that to happen.
Not everyone in '08 and '09 who lost their banking jobs and a lot of other jobs just went out and got a new job. That's not how an emergency happens. And if we head into a serious recession at some point, I'm not saying that this one could be or that there even will be again, but that's not a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee.
And is the 20K number just for like 6 months of expenses? Would be just 20K then?
With your mortgage, it probably would make sense to have 24,000. And I prefer 6 months. Some people say 3 to 6. I prefer 6 because things like pandemics happen. And in the industry you work in, it's okay, transition from home. But who knows what the next world-stopping thing could be, because we live in that world. On the Amazon Prime card, you paid off $891, and then you've had purchases of $911. Do you ever carry over balances on this, or is it paid off every month?
No, I always pay it off.
Very good. So on here, this is the food card. This is the eating out card.
Yeah, and Amazon purchasing. So.
Yeah, don't even see much Amazon put in here between the eating out. McDonald's, Panda Express, Patrick's Cafe, Grillbird, Seattle, Mod Pizza. Is Safeway your grocery?
Yeah.
So there's a few Safeways, but then we go back to Boss Drive-In, McDonald's, Mod Pizza, Puget Sound Energy. Okay, so that's not eating out. Panda Express, Mod Pizza, McDonald's, QFC, not KFC.
That's a grocery store.
Okay. McDonald's, Boss Drive-In, McDonald's, Panda, Mod, or seeing a habit, you go to 4 places. McDonald's, finally an Amazon purchase for the Amazon card, but guess what, we're back to McDonald's, Panda. Hey, La Fronta something, you actually changed it up from McDonald's, Panda, and Mod Pizza. McDonald's, a few La Fontas, a couple Safeways, finally getting some actual groceries besides McDonald's. And then we're back to McDonald's and Panda Express. Another Amazon order. 2 Amazon orders in this whole thing for your Amazon card. Then Boss Drive-In and McDonald's again to close it out. Why so much McDonald's? And they're really cheap McDonald's too. It's like you spend like $5.16 each time.
Yeah, on their apps you get really freaking good deals. But yeah, it's not healthy, and I'm probably gonna regret it. But that's just been the cheapest way to eat, I feel like. But when I try to go grocery shopping, it never quite breaks out to save me as much as if I just unfortunately go to McDonald's. But I think I'm sacrificing my health and wellness for it.
Well, then you're also probably not grocery shopping the right way.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really buy a bunch of stuff and cook it all up. And yeah, I should really do that more. So
much McDonald's and Panda Express. And I am a fan of the going out to eat, including the fried foods. I got that dad bod, but maybe the tennis is keeping you in shape. But
for how much longer?
Yeah. So you're spending about $1,000 a month on mostly fast food, and then a couple utilities and a couple grocery shopping trips. So you have almost $3,000. Well, let's include utilities there and stuff. $3,000 for mortgage, and then $600 for car. Let's add car insurance and gas. You're probably doing what, $900 for car a month?
For gas, it's like $80 a month for me, and then I've just paid my insurance up front. But if you averaged it monthly, it would be, I think, $110.
All right, we'll call it $900 a month. So $2,900. Then, to kind of make it nice and even, I think you're spending about $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month is what is being spent. It's about 36% of your take home. It's actually not crazy. The $1,000 isn't crazy because though you go out to eat a lot, you don't spend very much at the places you go to. Panda, you spend a little more, but McDonald's, you do not spend much when you go there. And even the Mod's Pizza, not very much either. So 36% for your take home. And then the rest is going to what? Investing?
Yeah, pretty much exclusively.
Because there was about 4,000 taken out for Vanguard. So what does your brokerage account look like today?
Oh, well, unfortunately, as of this morning, not so hot. Right now it's at like 20,000 currently. So,
Have you only been doing that recently?
yeah, for about a year, I would say. So,
And is that like a separate brokerage, or are you including like your Roth IRA in that?
no, so I have my Roth and my 401k, and then this is a separate brokerage that I want to use to like repair my home with. Or potential, I don't know, or potentially, I'm not sure what yet, but I just want to make like a probably real estate thing of some kind, but it's just save up the money for now. This is going to be like 3 or 4 years out. So
What are they in? Like index funds or?
yeah, pretty much just the S&P 500. So
And then what's in your Roth IRA? What's in your 401k?
Pretty much just S&P 500 across the board.
How much though?
In my IRA, I own like a quarter of it is allocated to like a REIT type of investment, dividend paying.
What's the value of these accounts though?
So my Roth is at 33,000 right now. My 401k is at 55,000, and then the brokerage is at 20,000.
Very good. Okay. What's the home worth?
The home on market value would probably be about like 610
What'd you buy it for again?
or 70.
So your net worth is kind of split down the middle between the market and the housing market. So cool. I think what you really need to do, I don't like that you got into the car payment because I think you could have bought it in cash. I do really like the interest rate. Still wouldn't have taken out leverage. I understand the math behind, let's just put a little down, put the rest in the market, and then, pay the minimum monthly payments on it because over time, the market's going to go up. And I use that logic kind of when already in debt. I don't like the idea of when you have the money taking out leverage in order to, on a depreciating asset, in order to invest a little more. Just like I say for student loans with an interest rate of like 5 or 4% or less, mostly the 4% or less, doesn't make sense to necessarily pay them off early, pay the minimum monthly payments, and invest the rest. That doesn't mean I say, hey, go take out student loans instead of cash flowing school. I still prefer to cash flow school where possible and then invest what you can. So I would not have done the car, but since you're in it, maybe pay a little extra, try to get it to 3 years. Do not like paying for cars for over 3 years. I really don't like that. But other than that, I think get your emergency fund to $24,000. Maybe pay this off in 3 years, and I think you're pretty golden.
Mm-hmm.
Then it might make sense to fix up the house a little because you just said it was in kind of pretty rough condition. But, kind of do that on your own time and budget, making sure you're allocating your money to priorities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are my thoughts. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I guess I would just be. I mean, I feel like even though my income is high, like, would you say my expenses are still like pretty, like, I should strive to cut them more? Because I've just been feeling like I'm like just just buying a bunch of fast food, just a bunch of random crap that like, I don't know, like, how do you approach that? Because I feel like mathematically it may not be an issue, but it does bother me. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
In what we can see in your statements, your needs and your wants only equal 36% of your income, of your take-home income. So I think you're fine. That's actually really good, and it's because you make a lot. Do you spend a lot on fast food? Almost like $800, $900 a month alone on fast food. Sure, but in proportion to your income, fine. That's okay. Good for your gut and heart? Maybe not. But for your budget, it fits well within it. The house takes up the vast majority of this 36% spent on wants and needs. It takes up essentially 25% of your overall budget. So I think you're fine. The vast majority of your income is going to investing, and I love that. Where I think you've missed a little bit is just I would want to see that emergency fund higher, and then you just don't think about it. I know it sucks to have like $24,000 in an account that's not growing with the market. It'll only grow with like what normal inflation will be. Hopefully, that's usually the goal. But it's one of those financial sacrifices we take just for whatever the future could potentially hold. Because I don't want you to touch your brokerage in emergencies. I really don't want to, because I don't want you to have to cash it out if an emergency happens and we're at the bottom of the market. I don't want you to have to do that. So that's the tweak I would make. And of course, like I said, I wouldn't have gotten into the car, but maybe pay it off in 3 years instead of 4.
Okay.